repped like, he repped David Nett, and then, you know George Ruiz? Who's also was an agent, and like worked for like one of the big agencies, but was repping.
These names sound really
He
familiar.
repped Felicia Day. Brandon worked under like George Ruiz. I think they were. Although now Brandon went back to Brooklyn to do a startup like music company and they do like all the stuff with local bands. But he took me to Superior Tacos in Brooklyn.
And you were.
Yeah, we walked in the rain. It's like, you know, New York people.
Yeah.
He was like, let's go. It's not very far, and it was like 50 blocks or some shit, and it was raining.
You're LA though.
No
I'm
umbrella.
sorry. I'm sorry.
All I had was a hoodie, so I was like, screw it, we're going for tacos. I don't care.
Oh God. Well, LA people, they can't walk. I don't understand.
No, they don't.
I just don't understand it. Like, I'm like, oh, it's not that far. I'll just walk. And they're like, you're gonna walk? Like, I like told them that I was gonna murder somebody. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm from San Francisco. We're used to walking.
I didn't mind the walk. I minded the walk in the rain.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, the rain.
Because I didn't dress for it.
Yeah, the rain probably sucked. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's not my fault though.
Yeah.
I just.
I don't blame you completely.
Okay.
Just partially.
Just partially. That's fine. Well, being.
And then I went to a place in New York that had tacos recently, and we went, and I forget what it's called. And they were good, but not spectacular.
Yeah.
So it's probably better that I don't remember their name on camera.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Actually, I'm.
If you look at my Twitter stream, you'd find it.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'm really excited to find those places that you said because I haven't been to any of them. And my boyfriend grew up in in the Mission District in San Francisco. And he loves tacos. Like, he loves Mexican food because he got the real stuff. And he is such a critic when we go to like the fancy schmancy restaurants in like the Bay Area, and like he's like, this isn't a street taco. Like, you know how like, they put it out on the menu and stuff?
Yeah, they do.
Street tacos, and it's like it comes out on a plate and it's like super fancy. And
we went to a diner in New Jersey and there was tacos on the menu.
Yeah.
And Allison's like, don't order that. And she's like, you know what you're gonna get. I'm like, I know, but I kind of have to order it just to see how bad it was.
Just to see how bad.
So I got like a bowl of chili beforehand, and I ate the chili. It was a small bowl, and then the taco came out, and it was the like shell that you buy in the box.
Yep.
And then all the ingredients were separated, and then there was a big blob of the same chili that I ate, which was the filling for the taco.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. Like,
and I'm like, well, that's what I expected. But I had to at least.
He's like, every time he orders it, he usually always orders it.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the restaurants that I will not name on camera, he was like, okay, like this is a reputable restaurant. Like, I feel like I have to order it. And he was so pissed because they serve beans with the tacos, the street tacos.
Right. Inside of it? You meant on the side?
No, on the side.
Okay.
And
because I had that too, where they put the beans.
And it was like in a little like tin. It was like really weird. Like, it was like fancy for no reason. He's like, why are they? And he's like, and not to mention, there wasn't a lot of meat. And like, that was like one of the things that he loves about tacos is like, they load it up on meat and just put like the minimal ingredients.
And that's how I eat them. It's like steak or carne asada, onion, cilantro, and hot sauce. And that's all I put on there.
Exactly.
I don't do tomatoes. Yeah, on a regular taco, I don't do cheese and lettuce and tomato and anything else, or even avocado.
Ever does any of that stuff.
Unless it's a specialty taco that comes with. Yeah.
Exactly, but he gets so upset. He's like, man, he's like, why do they? Americans, God, what is this? And he's Asian too, so it's like really weird that he's like he has this like thing like with tacos and Mexican food. I'm like,
I really like Kogi. Kogi truck is good.
Kogi's great.
It's very different, but it's great.
Very different, but it's not a Mexican taco.
No, it's not.
But you don't go in looking for that.
Although rabbit is a Mexican ingredient. It's just they did rabbit with like pomegranate seeds and like other stuff on top.
Oh my
It was
God,
crazy.
that sounds like.
It was another weird one where I'm like, these things go together, and then you taste it, and you're like,
oh
yeah.
Oh my God, this is amazing. I guess we should talk about music now.
Yes.
So what's your favorite
30
instrument?
minutes on tacos.
Yeah, I know. Tacos. Now I'm hungry. What's your favorite instrument?
The cello. But I don't play it yet. I want to be able to play it. I mean, it's my favorite instrument when I'm writing, and I love to like write with the cello and play and trigger the cello samples that I have, which are amazing. But I want to learn, I want to get a cello at some point and learn how to play.
Oh my God. That's really cool.
It's such a cool instrument. It's so like deep and dark, and like it has all this. It's very like full. It has all this emotion to it.
Yeah.
And when you're playing it, like you get your whole body into it. It's just, yeah.
That's really cool. I don't I wasn't expecting you to say the cello at all.
We're gonna think
I was gonna say the guitar because
the
you
recorder. The recorder's
I mean, that's my favorite.
I still have the one from 3rd grade.
Yeah, me too. Who doesn't?
It should be the guitar because it's the first thing
That's what I
ever
thought.
played.
Yeah, that's what I thought that you were gonna say. I thought for sure.
My poor guitar sits on the wall on like a hook. It doesn't get.
And just cries.
People come over and they're like, "Oh, you play guitar? I want guitar on my score." I'm like, if I use that guitar, I'm gonna have to practice for a month first.
You're like,
and then
be prepared.
I have amazing guitar samples that I can actually trigger that sound better than if I spent hours sitting up, which is also depressing. I'm like, and people are like, "You play guitar on my score? Great." I'm like, yes.
Yes, I do. Kind of. Should you be saying that? I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Okay, I wasn't going to ask you this, but I want to know, what instrument do you hate? Like, hate.
That's a good question. I'm going to have to say the saxophone.
Is it because it's jazzy?
Yeah.
Okay,
I just hate jazz.
I want to, yeah. Wow, my God, man.
I like blues.
Yeah, but you hate jazz.
Yeah, I do. And whenever I try to play jazz, I feel like it comes out like blues. I had to score a video game that needed like 40s jazz with a modern twist.
For a video game?
It was a video game of somebody remodeling like a house in New Orleans, and you uncovered like all these clues, and they wanted like jazzy New Orleans, but they wanted it 40s jazz because it was set in the past. There were like things that happened in the past. And that was difficult, but I felt like all my jazz was blues.
Huh. Okay.
And I made it work, but in the beginning I was like, what the hell? I was like, no problem, and I hung up the phone. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna write? I don't know what to.
That's crazy.
So I don't know that I hate the saxophone, but it's not. It's probably one of my least favorite instruments. Maybe because A, I don't play it, and B, when people want it just doesn't sound. Yeah, it's true.
So there you go. Well, okay, then that makes me wonder. My favorite artist of all time.
Is Kenny G?
No. Is Erykah Badu.
Okay.
Do you know her type of music?
Mm-hmm.
It's like neo soul.
Yeah.
Okay. And she
That's a little different though.
It is a little different. I mean, there is some jazz in it, and I'm sorry, but she's literally been my favorite.
You don't have to apologize for it.
And I know. I just love her. I do. I love her. I think she's like, all of her albums are amazing. Every like song that she ever like wrote, it just, I don't know. I just love it. And she makes her own songs, which makes me even more appreciative of her as an artist.
I like Al Di Meola, who is a guitar player and plays jazz, but his jazz it's all guitar and it's a little different, and sometimes his stuff is a little more samba, a little more.
That's what I feel. Yeah, like so
it's
you're okay with like a jazz influence is what I'm asking you.
You know my problem with jazz is like people will want me to do jazz, and if there's no budget to like hire 4 guys and put them in a room and just let them play, it's me pretending to be 4 jazz musicians in a room. So like I'll have to play the percussion, and then I'll have to play the piano, and then I'll have to play the horn.
I love how much you hate jazz.
But the problem with that is if you put 4 people in a room to play jazz, like there's like a groove, like it's like blues too. If you're playing with somebody, you're playing off of that person, and you get a whole like vibe going, and everything flows. There's no flow when you're one person playing 4 parts separately. It just doesn't sound the same. So I'm always like, this is not going to sound right. Like it's just not going to sound like it should sound with people, and so I'm never happy with it. I'm not happy before I even start writing. It'll fucking suck.
That makes me really happy. Okay, hold on. What do you hate the most in this world besides jazz?
Ants.
Ants? Okay.
Only because we're having problems with them right now. So first thing
would you take ants or would you take jazz?
I'd take jazz.
Okay. Okay. Would you take jazz or
vegans?
Vegans. Yeah.
No, I don't hate vegans. That would be a horrible thing to say.
You probably hate vegans though.
No, I don't hate vegans. A little bit. I'm only annoyed by people who are militant in one direction or the other.
Yeah.
But like I feel that way about meat eaters that are like, let's kill like the last remaining rhinoceros.
I just don't want anybody to care.
Yes,
that's what I want. Like I'm like, I just want to eat. Like leave me alone.
I'm like, look, if
I don't like this. I like this.
If you want to be a vegan, like great, go be a vegan.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that I'm wrong or like.
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate that so much. Yeah, that's annoying. I'm trying to think of the worst thing. What's another thing that you hate so much?
I like how we're so negative. What do you hate?
What do you hate?
People.
Oh, wait, I got it. Oh my god. So, jazz?
Italians.
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding, my wife's Italian.
Okay, no.
Actually,
jazz?
I have Italian in me, so that would.
Okay, so then you hate part of yourself.
Yes, I do. I hate me.
Sure. Okay, jazz or New Mexico?
New Mexico.
Okay.
It's not that bad. They have some good food.
Yeah. Okay.
They use green chilies and everything. They have the best green chilies in the world.
I think I knew that because somebody
Ouch.
a friend of mine had had to move from New Mexico to like the East Coast, and she had her grandmother send her green
My
chilies.
parents brought me 20 pounds like 2 years ago. They came to visit, and I was like, bring me some. And then they brought this entire cooler, and they weren't roasted. They were all fresh.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, great, I'm going to have to spend like 8 hours on the
Yeah,
barbecue
that's
roasting
right.
all this.
While you were
But yay,
composing,
thanks for
right?
bringing them.
While you were
Yeah.
composing, because you do. I'm
I was
assuming
actually
that,
scoring 2 features at the same time then.
but like literally at the same time as like prepping the. I'm assuming that everything you do in your house, you compose simultaneously while
doing it, yeah.
while doing it. So like for example, when you were cooking for producing Juliet,
I had
you were
one
also
hand composing.
composing, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what you do.
Now, I can't compose first thing in the morning. Like that's the time of day when I have to do like the emails and the marketing and like that part of my brain
Hey, I'm so
kicks in.
great.
And like 11
That's
a.m.
when
or
you
like
compose.
noon, then I'm like, okay, I feel like I can write some music.
All right, fair enough.
And then I write for a while and then take a nap and then you're for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get it.
But then I'll work till. Okay, I'll still get up at like 7 in the morning and start doing stuff, and then it's midnight when we're going to bed. So
and you're like,
there
where
are
the
like
hell did the
lots
day
of
go?
like 18-hour days or whatever, but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, because you're doing what you love.
When it's like 10 p.m. and you're like, oh, I haven't had dinner or
Oh,
lunch.
I need to
We should
eat.
probably eat.
Tacos.
Yes,
Exactly. Okay, so you love tacos.
I
What
had
do
them
you?
for lunch today
Of course you did. With Rob.
and for dinner last night. No,
Just
I'm
making
gonna
sure.
my wife bring them back home.
Okay. You love tacos. What do you hate? What food do you hate?
I'm not a fan of lima beans.
Okay, jazz or lima beans?
Ooh, lima beans.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
I don't like peas either, and I would choose them over jazz.
You would choose peas over jazz?
I like split pea soup. I like
love
peas
split
in
peas.
things sometimes. I don't like a pile of peas on the plate.
Yeah, no, I get you. That's not my favorite. I mean, like, I wouldn't be angry about it, but.
No, peas don't make me angry. I'm not like,
But you're a pretty angry guy.
oh, really? Like all the
You-
time?
You didn't notice that?
No.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to let you know.
Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, you're angry while composing.
Yeah, because
That's
that would
another
work.
thing. Yeah, it's like your emotion.
There are times when I'll do percussive things and I'm like literally banging on the.
Because you're
drum.
angry. You're a really angry
Because
guy.
I am, yes.
I mean, did you see how you slammed down your wine?
Yes.
Just
You're-
stop.
You're gonna add in sound effects later,
Yeah.
right? It's like
I'm gonna ask you to add
slow
it to
motion.
that. Like compose.
later you break a glass and you fill it in. It's just a
I
cut
wish
of
we
you
could-
going like,
yeah.
no.
That would make me really happy, actually. I wish we did that. Anyway, okay, so, sorry, we're trailing off. So, what is the relationship between music and pictures, and how do they go together?
I look at score like it's another character in a film or a TV show,
Or a web series?
or a web series. Like the score should be there. It's there to help, but it also shouldn't be like stand out. Like you shouldn't notice it, but it should work in conjunction with everything else. So it's there to underscore the performances and help the writing, and it's like an enhancement. But if it's taken away, like you know that something's missing.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
it also shouldn't like blow everything else away.
Yeah, but if you don't have music in something, I mean, it's like when I
Yes.
see the editing process happening, because Dashel edits for us, when he hasn't put music in it, it's like
It's weird. It's odd to see,
really
isn't it?
odd. It's really odd, and it's really like, why isn't this finished? Why isn't this done? This isn't done.
And a lot of times directors will go, "Oh my God, it's so much different with the music in." And like I always hear things without first, so I'm used to it.
But it's weird.
yeah, it is weird.
It almost sounds like silence, even though there's dialogue happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like
Or if there's action happening but there's no music, it's just odd.
it just doesn't sound well.
It's like an
not-
awkward fight. that you're
Yeah.
watching.
Okay, so last question. Top 5 albums, go.
Brian Tyler's Army of Two score, which is a video game score that
Okay.
came out last year. Bear McCreary's Battlestar Galactica Season 3 score.
Wow. Okay.
Which I felt like was the pinnacle of like he's my favorite composer for film is Brian Tyler. My favorite for TV is Bear, and Bear is like everything. And Bear does Walking Dead. He's doing the new pirate show, Black Sails. Like he's doing everything, which is also frustrating. Like leave some for the rest of us. Let's see, that's 2. When you're through thinking, say yes by Yellow Card.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. That was an album that like I think I heard one song and I bought that album and then it just stuck with me. And it's one of those albums where like I won't listen to it for a couple of, like I'll listen to it a lot for a little bit and then just not for a few months.
Yellow Card, the Ocean Avenue song?
Yeah, that band. But
Really?
it's the album from, it's the album before the newest one.
I only know, I don't really like alternative that much.
I like it because it's a little, it's almost like punk but also hard rock.
Okay.
Like I'm not a big fan of alternative like Incubus kind of alternative. Like I used to like them, but now I'm not big on that. I feel like Yellow Card's a little bit edgier, and it's almost like 90s rock came back, but is a little bit more modern.
Okay.
Like they're not all glammed out like Motley Crue, but it's heavy guitar and like it's catchy.
Fair enough. I see where you're saying. Yeah, it is definitely catchy. That song Ocean Avenue, like I don't even really like that type of music, and I remember that song. Oh, you just made me think of another question that I really want to ask you.
Hold on, I have 2 more. It always changes because it depends on like what's in the car.
I totally get that. Yeah.
The newest Fun album.
Newest.
Fun.
Okay.
Which I didn't like the first time I heard it, and then it grew on me.
Okay.
Because they're weird and not really, they're hard to categorize because they're a little all over the place. Like one song has a guitar solo and one song is just a piano, and they're I don't know, they're kind of folksy in some. It's like they're not all the same note. Like there's a lot of like folky bands that came out that and I can't think of anybody right now.
Yeah.
Where all the songs sounded exactly the same.
Exactly.
And they didn't.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking of like everything my wife listens to.
I know, but I know what you're talking about. It's like all those like folky like. Oh my God! I just went to Outside Lands. I went to Outside Lands in August, and I feel like I saw like all of the bands that you're talking about.
Yes. And like I'm like I don't know which song
and
this is
there's
compared
like
to the
that
last
like
song.
French band that like is like always on.
Yeah, Amici or something. No, different one. I think
something about being a liar. Never ending story.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about because I do know that like I feel like that they all sound the same. I feel like it's like, okay, what's the difference? Like, it just, I don't know, like, you know. But, But again, I don't particularly care for that music. I like that song.
Yeah, I don't either. And
Home, by, what's that song,
Mice and Men. Like the group's like of Mice and Men.
Home.
That's another group that's like everything.
That's a.
I'm like, this might as well be one 40-minute song.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
That I'm still not gonna like.
Yeah.
Number 5 is the new Dream Theater album that came out like 2 or 3 months ago. Dream Theater is like a progressive rock, although like they might have been categorized as metal because they're a hard rock band. They're like a cross between like Metallica and Rush. They have like long epic songs, but they're all like amazing musicians. They're all Berklee trained and the best guitar player I've ever seen, the best classically trained pianist plays keyboard.
Okay, so if you were to make a band, and you could pick, like, almost like do you watch football?
Yeah.
Okay, you know fantasy
yeah,
football.
so I'm doing a fantasy band.
Fantasy band.
So like a band?
Yeah, like a band, like you want what genre, and, well, actually, no. Whatever genre you want, but who would you want to be in your band? From wherever you can pick. Like, it could be people that we know, people that we don't know.
It's weird because I like so many composers. Composers aren't like musicians. Like they play an instrument, but they don't play on stage, so they're not like.
So let's say that they can play on stage.
Oh, so who would be my like composer?
It could be anybody.
Like all-star?
Yeah, it could be like me playing the piano. It doesn't matter.
So I'd have Bear McCreary playing the accordion because he can play the accordion on stage.
Okay, that's awesome. I like that the
He'd
accordion
have to
was
write
your
though,
first.
because I don't know how to write well
Yeah.
with accordion.
Okay.
I'd have Brian Tyler playing drums because he's a fucking amazing drummer. He's one of those composers where he walks through the studio and he has a gazillion instruments and he'll pick every one of them up and he's like, this is my blah 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 from France, and he'll play it. And he's like, here's my drums, and he sounds like he's better than most drummers. He was like, and here's my cello. I'm just learning how to play, so I'm not very good.
And then
I'm like, I hate you.
Oh my
like,
god, I'm the best at everything.
You're one of those people that can play everything.
It's one of those people that, for me, that they put on anything and they look good. And I literally want to kick them in the face.
I know.
They're
And then they wouldn't.
I don't know, this color doesn't look that good on me. And then they put it on and I'm like, you're
If you kick them in the
person.
face, they wouldn't look good in that color.
You know, maybe I should
Then there'd be
actually
blood on
consider
it.
doing the kicking.
You're like, you're good, go to makeup.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You don't hurt at all.
It's not going to show up on camera.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so we got accordion.
We have an accordion and a drummer. That's
And
it.
the drummer. That's all you want?
John Petrucci from Dream Theater on guitar.
Okay.
And
This
Jordan.
is alive or dead, too. Anybody. Anybody. I'm sorry. I
No, it's okay.
in stress.
I would have George Lynch, who is a guitar player that played in metal bands in the 90s, because he was my guitar influence when I first started playing. He was in Dokken way back when they were the 80s, but then he had his own band called Lynch Mob, and he's, as opposed to John Petrucci, who's a very technical guitar player and knows exactly, he learned all the theory and knows where he's at when he's playing. Lynch is I'm playing by ear and I'm playing by feel, and these notes feel right. And he's an amazing player, but he can't read any music.
Okay.
So they're both
awesome, by the way.
it's both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Here's somebody who's technically great and they understand all the theory and why those notes work, and here's somebody who's just playing from the heart.
Yeah.
And both of them sound great for different reasons.
Okay. I have one more question.
So I would have two guitar players, a drummer, and an accordion player.
That's awesome though. What about singer? Let's say we got a singer.
Justin Bieber. No, just
I
kidding.
was like, oh my god. Erykah Badu probably.
Yes. Katy Perry, but
Okay.
naked.
Okay, well, obviously, you and every other man on this planet.
No, I would. I don't know if I could pick one singer. Just pick Steven Tyler, just because it's Steven Tyler.
Okay.
You could-
So wait, I just thought of another thing. If you could compose for any show, what would it be?
Alive or Dead?
Anything. Anything.
Ooh,
Oh, I
that's
thought
a
of
good
another question just after that.
For a long time, it was Lost. I would just tell people why I want to get that gig on Lost.
Yeah.
There's so much negative backlash with Lost. You tell people now, they'd be like, ugh, that show.
I never watched that show.
I liked that show, and Giacchino did a great job with the score, and then he went on to movies. He did Alias, and he did Lost, and then
Movies.
suddenly he's doing movies.
Okay.
And then he did Up.
Oh, he did Up?
Yeah.
I love that.
See, I didn't
soundtrack.
love Up. I'm one of the only people who did not.
Really?
People are like, did you cry? I'm like, no.
I didn't cry, but I just thought it was really cool. I really liked okay, now go do your own adventure. That part.
I liked
itself-
everything until he landed. And I was like, oh, he landed already? I wanted to see him in the balloon longer. And then,
Yeah,
then there
I
was
guess I see
the
that.
squirrel, the dog, and then I was lost. Then I was texting. I'm like, all right, I'm not.
Meh. You were that guy.
Not in the movies, at home.
Okay, just making sure.
I didn't see the movies. If I could do a show that's on right now, Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good show. Good show.
Yeah, I would steal it from Bear.
Okay. All right.
It wouldn't do as well as him, but
Well,
he does an amazing job. But yeah.
fair. You can steal it.
Yes.
This is our own world. So
Or
okay.
to throw you for a loop, Grey's Anatomy.
Really?
Yes, which
What?
I've
You were
watched
talking
every
about-
episode of Grey's Anatomy. But
What?
if you watch, first of all, it's written well.
Okay.
It's very soap opera-y, yes. But if
I
you,
did not get into that show at all. My mom loves that show. I hate it.
my wife watched a show when we first started dating. Season 6 was starting, and she was like, "Oh my God, Grey's is on." And I'm like, "There's no fucking way I'm watching that show.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna work on my computer, on my laptop. You watch." And so while she's watching, of course, I'm like, "Wait, those two people are together? No. And then end of the episode, I'm like, "Fuck, I have to watch more." And then I went back to season 1 and started
you-
watching season 1 while we were watching the new season
Really?
caught up. Yeah, it's actually a really
That
good
is not
show.
something I would have ever expected from you.
But
because
the-
I know you so long.
The score is very like minimalist and like it's very much like Juliet. It's a lot of piano. It's a lot of like low synths and occasionally like there's a lot of songs in that aren't from the composer.
Yeah.
But I thought like what a cool gig. Like I would totally love to write for that show, and the show's been on for like 10 years.
Wow.
So
Okay. That's.
so Shonda Rhimes, call me.
Okay, got it. Cool. That's crazy. I'm really surprised at that
Well, I feel a
answer.
little like that about Scandal too. I'm like, why am I not scoring this show?
Scandal? Okay.
Yeah.
I see Scandal more than Grey's Anatomy though, for some reason.
They're very different. They're different, but you can see her writing in it, but they're very different shows.
Okay.
Scandal's much darker.
Well, yeah, that's why I thought.
Grey's is pretty dark. People die all the time on Grey's.
Why
There are
not?
times where I'm
That's
like,
like
why are
nice.
those two people hooking up? Oh, I forgot what show I'm watching.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, I need to get past that and get to the point where like, oh, there's two sick babies and one of them's gonna have to die. Which one dies? And I'm like, oh, this is great.
I have to get past that.
I don't
have to
want a
get
happy
past
ending. I don't like
dying
stuff with a happy
babies.
ending. My favorite film is Requiem for a Dream.
Really?
Yeah. It's a horrible,
you-
horrible film. It's like, it's horribly depressing. Like, it's done, it's brilliant. I love Aronofsky and he's my favorite filmmaker for films. But, like, that's the most depressing film I've ever seen in my life. And, like,
I've never seen it.
ugh, it's just, it starts here
And then you just.
and
go
then
down.
it goes here and then they're like, the end. And you're like, wow.
Wow.
There's
okay.
no redeeming.
I know you're not the first person to tell me that it's a great movie and that I should watch it.
It's
but
not
I
a
feel
movie
like-
we shouldn't watch it right before bed. And
Okay.
you shouldn't watch it, like, alone. It's such a depressing movie. It will, like, change
Is
your
it
mood.
scary?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's about 4 people that are all addicted to drugs.
Oh.
And like and you just watch them all spiral downward.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
Okay.
But Jared Leto's brilliant in it.
Jared Leto is a good actor. So wait, okay, hold on. Before I forget this question.
Yes.
If you could compose with anybody, like as a team, who would you do it
Ooh.
with? Oh, I got the one more.
Bear. It would be Bear.
Okay, so who's your hero for composing?
It's between like Bear and Brian. I like Brian Tyler because Brian Tyler's stuff for like Fast and Furious. When I first heard Tokyo Drift, he mixed like orchestral stuff with rock guitar and techno.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my god, it's brilliant. Like it's all 3 in 1. And his action stuff is always so intense. And it's the most intense like action scores I've ever heard. Bear has stuff that's really like dark and beautiful and drawn out and like really layered and they're just like really moving scores. So I like them both for different reasons.
Okay.
I'd still say Bear McCreary probably.
Okay. Well, with that,
Yes.
cheers.
Cheers.
Great interview.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dashel. Thanks, WebVee Guide. Thanks, Rob. Thanks,
Everyone.
everyone. Thanks, Bear. Thanks, I don't know.
Tina.
Tina. Thanks, Tina, for making the next web series that Rob's going to compose and I'm going to star in. Right?
Right.
Sure. I don't know.
You're gonna
Let's
be the
just-
new walk on roll and
Yeah,
Juliet.
like, hey. Okay, Dash, we're done.
No, you keep going.
Oh, are you directing now?
Yeah, just it's
I didn't
like
know that we needed one.
We didn't talk about Dinosaur Hunter.
Oh, did you want to talk about
We
dinosaurs?
could, if you want to.
Let's
I mean,
talk
it's a
about
long
dinosaur.
interview.
Well, I
Um,
mean, again, we're gonna
You're gonna cut it off.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it off.
It's basically just us starting, and then you're like, "Thanks, everybody, goodbye."
Yeah, and then now Dinosaur Hunter.
So I have a friend that's an actor. His name is Brian Majestic, and he hates dinosaurs. He just thinks they're stupid. He said every kid
And this
when
is
they
the
grow
project that you're kickstarting or
up, I Indiegogo'd.
Indiegogo.
So he as a kid is like every kid's either a space camp kid or a dinosaur kid, and I'm a space kid, and I was like I'm both. So like I make fun of him. I'm like you're ridiculous. Like dinosaurs aren't dumb, and I would post stuff on his Facebook wall about dinosaurs. And one day when we were eating tacos for lunch, I
of
said
course.
you should write a web series where you're Brian Majestic Dinosaur Hunter and you go back in time to prove that dinosaurs didn't exist. And he was like, "That's great, go write it." And then I laughed, and then I went home, and 2 hours later he was emailing me, and he was like, "I think my character should be like this." And I was like, "Oh crap, he wants me to
He's
write him a
serious.
web series." So I took a few months, I was scoring a bunch of things, and I didn't have free time, and he would bug me every once in a while, like, "How's it coming?" I'm like, "Oh, an outline." And then finally I hit a spot in like October, and I thought, okay, I have time, I'm gonna outline 6 episodes. And then I wrote a detailed outline. I thought this could be fun and like easy to shoot. So I called him and I'm like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to shoot it. We're going to do it like cheap, and it's going to be you and a team of like 3 other people, and we're going to shoot it mockumentary style. So he goes back in time with a paleontology student and a survivalist and a cameraman to prove that dinosaurs didn't exist. And of course, we all know that dinosaurs exist, but
Yeah, they do. Just wanted to let you know. I didn't know.
So I thought I'd Indiegogo to raise money. I haven't done a campaign of my own before, so this is
the
call
first
in
time
my
that
favor. Yeah, because I've never produced a project.
Yeah.
And Brian had all these people in mind for director, and he was like, we could have this person direct, and I was like, no, I want to direct it. I didn't ever want to be director before now, but now that I've written it and I know exactly how I want it shot, I need to direct it. So he was like, okay, great. So I said, let's try and raise money, but let's go low. Let's go for $2,000 because we don't need a lot of money. We just need to pay for food and permits and props, and then hopefully pay a little money to everybody because no one ever pays actors any money.
Exactly. Who cares about actors?
We did a 15-day campaign. We did a short campaign because we didn't have a month to spend to promote it, and we raised all our money in 4 days.
I still can't believe that.
It was
That's
crazy.
insane.
I didn't ask for money any of those times. I said, here, hey guys, we shot a teaser and a pitch video, and I was like, here, go watch this. And I kind of let the site speak for itself, and then people would donate, and I would go on Facebook and write a little like back and forth dialogue between Brian and I, like, hey Brian, guess what? What? Like, so-and-so just donated some money. Oh, who's that? Like, I don't even like that person.
I don't even like that guy.
And then
And
with
half
a
the
link,
time you
and then
didn't
people
like
would
them.
follow the link and donate more money, and it became this like perpetual.
That's amazing.
And then we did a taco stunt, and then,
The
yeah,
taco stand
it was
is-
4 days, and then he was like, "Let's keep going," and I said, "No, we should stop because like we asked for 2,000 and we got 2,000. I don't want to be the dick that's like, no, give us 4,
give us 4,000.
even though we could always
now
use more
give
money."
us $1 million. Yeah, we could always use more money in the web world.
Yes.
And
Well, trying to get
everyone.
permits for parks in LA is not
yeah,
as easy as I
we're trying to get permits. Just
No.
leave it at that.
Well, it's crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like being a producer. The directing, writing part,
you can pay
I was
me
fine
enough
with.
to be a producer, but no, I get it. I get it. So now we're expecting Dinosaur Hunter.
We're hoping to shoot at the end of February.
Okay.
And so we're expecting like the episodes to come in April,
Okay.
and I want to release them. I'd like to do Netflix style and kind of do them all at once, but I think Brian wants to spread them out a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
2 a week. There's
Okay.
only 6.
Okay. And how many minutes?
It's like 30 minutes total, so they're like 2 to 3 an episode.
Okay.
And we already have a sketch for season 2. Like we're already.
You're
Because in my
right.
head I was like, for season 2.
Yeah.
We're going here and doing
We're
this.
going
And he's
this.
like, wait, what? There's a season 2? I'm like, yeah, shut up. There's season 2.
So where can we find it?
You'll find it, as of now, it'll be on YouTube.
Okay.
But we haven't gotten to the point where I've talked to any partners yet.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Okay, cool.
cheers again.
All right.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.